welcome. My name is Lauren. I wanted to make a little introduction to this video. My husband Brett and I went on an 11-day cruise that started and ended in Rome, Italy. This was our first trip to Europe, so we spent 2 nights in Rome before the cruise started. So this video takes you along for all our adventures in Rome for 2 days. Enjoy! We had a very long flight direct from Detroit to Rome. It took about 9.5 hours and it was overnight. So we arrived in Rome around 9 a.m. Italy time. And we were both just so enamored and jet lagged and tired, but started taking it all in just on our ride from the airport to the hotel. Our hotel was right near, basically in Barberini Square, which is where this fountain is. And we dropped our bags off and then went straight to this little cafe, the first one we found because we were so hungry and thirsty. So we had a great little breakfast here. After breakfast, we started walking around. There's just so much to see everywhere you look. It's just beautiful architecture. Our hotel room was not ready yet since it was so early, so we took advantage of the time and just started walking. And the Spanish Steps were not too far from where we were, so we looked that up on the map and started heading that way. There are Egyptian obelisks all over Rome that you'll see. The one that is here at the Spanish Steps is a copy that the Romans made, so it's not actually from Egypt like some of the other ones are. We made our way back to the hotel. We stayed at the Hotel Modigliani, which is a gallery boutique hotel. It's a few steps from Barberini Square, which has lots of restaurants and places to go and eat and drink. While we waited for our room to be ready, we just decided to hang out here in the lobby lounge area because we were just wiped out and feeling a little jet lagged and overwhelmed being around all the crowds of people and walking on the busy streets. So we just lounged here at the hotel until the room was ready, which didn't take too long. We stayed in the Japanese room. That is the only one that has that name there at the hotel. And it was perfect, a nice queen-size bed, a nice big spacious bathroom, and a very cute little patio outside. This was another area at the hotel that I absolutely loved. Just so much greenery and the perfect little spot to hang out and read or drink coffee. After a little freshening up and outfit change, we started walking to the Pantheon and stopped and again just took in any beautiful churches, architecture, the culture, everything on our way over to the Pantheon. We had tickets that I had bought in advance, so we had a reservation at 3 p.m. and made it there. It was very crowded, but anything in Rome, really, all these historical sites are always crowded. So you just kind of know that going into it, but it was a beautiful experience at the Pantheon. It's a temple to all the Roman gods built by Emperor Hadrian in the year 125. That opening in the top is called the oculus. There was another Egyptian obelisk just outside of the Pantheon here and turned into a fountain, which was awesome. This one was actually from Egypt, brought to Rome from the Temple of Ra. At this point, we realized we never even had lunch. We were feeling definitely a little weird with the time change and, being overnight on a plane and not sleeping well. So we decided to eat a pretty early dinner or late lunch and then call it a night because we were struggling a little bit, but trying to enjoy everything, take it all in, and get a good night's sleep so we could wake up refreshed. The next morning, we had a group tour that we had booked in advance, and it was for the Colosseum, Palatine Hill, and the Roman Forum. And typically, you can't see a lot of the stuff in the Colosseum without being part of a tour or a group. So this tour in particular was with the Tour Guide company, and it was phenomenal. Our tour guide was great. He was extremely knowledgeable and explained everything very clearly and led the group in a very organized way. One of my favorite parts of Rome were these umbrella trees. I noticed them right away when we started our drive from the airport to Rome and asked our driver, what are those? Because I've never seen them before. And he told me they were umbrella pines, and I was obsessed with them the whole rest of the trip. The tour started with a walk by the Arch of Titus and then through these gardens and basically making our way up to Palatine Hill. So as we kept getting higher and higher up, we kept seeing more and more of the view, which was awesome. And at the point where you were at the top, you could look down here and see the Roman Forum, which we then made our way down there eventually to walk around and learn and explore in that whole area as well. We got to walk by the Arch of Titus again on our way back to the Colosseum. So this was amazing to be able to spend a little more time here and see all the intricate details. It was so incredible to experience the Colosseum from the inside and with this guide. He was so good at just sharing all the historical details, a lot of stuff I had never known before. So I won't share all of that information here, but I would definitely recommend doing a tour like this to learn more. And a little side note, there were like no bathrooms that I could find anywhere during this tour. I think we had one moment in the Roman Forum where we had a bathroom break, but that was the one and only bathroom break. Once we were done at the Colosseum, I did have to walk pretty far and eventually found one that you had to pay for, but that was fine. Just be prepared for that. After the tour was over, we decided to just walk around and find somewhere to eat. So we found this Barzalai Bistro. It was our favorite meal in Rome. I had an Aperol Spritz, Brett had Chianti. The food was so good, I didn't even get any footage of it, but I had a Caesar salad with chicken, and Brett had a pasta dish, and then the tiramisu was like the absolute best we've ever had. So this meal, the service, the vibes, it was all very authentic and blew our minds. Then we just took our time and walked back to the hotel, enjoying again all the scenery everywhere you look. It's just beauty and just so historical, and you really feel like you're back in time. We decided to stop for another drink, so we were pretty much back to the hotel and just stopped in Barberini Square here for an afternoon drink. And then I really wanted to go check out this park that was nearby, the Villa Borghese. So we ended up finding that, and I just love nature and felt like needed some grounding. So we actually even took our shoes off and walked in the grass and just took in all the sounds and the peaceful vibes. And of course, my favorite, the umbrella trees. There's also like drinking water everywhere in Rome. So every fountain you see, all the drinking water is safe. So we did have a few moments where we would fill up our water bottle or just drink straight from the fountains. Eventually, we made our way back to Barberini Square where we had dinner at more of like a kind of quick service type place, but we did have a server. I forgot to get footage of the food again, but that was good. And then we went for gelato as we walked to the Trevi Fountain. So that was a beautiful experience getting our sweet treat and taking it to the fountain, which was incredibly busy. So many people crowded around, but we eventually got to get a little close. There was like an opening where we got to sneak in there and just enjoy our gelato watching the fountain. You can literally watch this forever, like, and see something new every time you look at it. It's so detailed and it's hard to explain without actually seeing it in person, but it is absolutely gorgeous. The next morning, we walked down to our favorite little place for breakfast and coffee, and then we had a ride scheduled to pick us up and take us to the cruise port because it was about an hour and a half drive, so it did take quite a while, but before we got picked up, we did have time to go get a little sweet treat that I wanted to try. The treat I wanted to try was called the Maritosi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, and it was good, but not my favorite. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or what your favorite part of the video was. I will link below anything that you might be interested in case you are planning a trip there. And keep an eye out for the next video in this 5-part series, which will be boarding the Norwegian Epic and our first day on the cruise, or first stop on the cruise, which was Athens, Greece. Ciao!